Welcome to the AnzenGuard podcast, everybody. I'm Michael Reynolds.
And I'm Laura Wilson.
And today we're going to be talking about
Yeah.
adware.
Ah.
So those like pesky pop-ups that just show up on your computer out of nowhere.
Right, those annoying ads that you can't seem to get rid of.
So we're gonna kind of go beyond just how annoying they are and get into like what is adware, how does it work, and how to like get rid of it and all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's more than just like a little annoyance. You know, like adware can actually be pretty serious.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're going to delve into that as well.
So like just starting off like at the most basic level, what is adware?
Yeah, so adware, it's basically software that's designed to like bombard your device with ads, right?
Okay.
And the sneaky thing is that a lot of times it gets onto your device without you even knowing about it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it can like hitch a ride on other downloads or exploit like little weaknesses in your browser.
Like a little stowaway.
Exactly.
Sneaking on board.
Yeah, and here's the thing that's interesting about it is that it kind of operates in this like morally gray area. You know, it's not always like illegal, but it's definitely pushing the boundaries of what's like ethical.
Yeah, like I definitely remember back in the day when Ask Jeeves was a thing. And it was like,
Oh yeah, Ask Jeeves.
like you download something and suddenly your homepage is Ask Jeeves. And you're like, how?
How did that happen?
How did this get here? I don't even know what this is.
Right, and every time you search for something, you're going through their platform and they're making money off of your clicks.
So it's all about the clicks. Huh?
It's all about the clicks, yeah.
So that brings up the question, like, why go through all this trouble to put an adware on people's computers? Like, what's the big payoff here?
Money, money, money.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's a business, right? So every time you view or click on one of those unwanted ads, the adware creators, they're making money.
Okay.
And then there's your browsing data, which is like gold to them.
Oh, right.
They can collect that, package it up, sell it to third-party ad networks.
So they're making money off of us in like multiple ways.
Exactly.
Just from these little ads.
Yeah. So you know that free game that you downloaded might not be so free after all.
Yeah. I guess you really do get what you pay for sometimes.
Exactly.
So how is adware different from malware?
That's a good question, and it's one that a lot of people get confused about. So not all adware is like actively malicious, you know?
Okay.
Like it's not always trying to like destroy your computer or steal your information.
Yeah.
Some adware, it might just be annoying, you know, just flooding you with ads.
Right.
But the problem is that even that kind of harmless adware can actually open the door for more serious threats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it can exploit vulnerabilities in your system. You know, it can create like a little pathway for other malware to sneak in.
So it's kind of like it weakens your defenses.
Exactly.
It makes you more susceptible to like the real bad stuff.
Exactly. So it's not just about the annoyance factor. It's also about security.
Okay, so there are different types of adware.
Yeah, and it's kind of a spectrum. You know, you've got like the relatively legitimate versions, which are still annoying, but they're not necessarily like packed with malware.
Okay.
And then you have the more like outright malicious versions.
Okay, so how do you know, like, how do I know if I've got adware on my computer? Like, what are the signs?
Well, the most obvious sign is those like intrusive pop-up ads.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah.
But there are the other more subtle signs too. Like if your computer or your browser suddenly starts running really slow, that could be a sign that adware is like eating up all your system resources.
Okay.
And then, you know, you want to watch out for any like unexplained browser
redirections.
Yeah, so like if you're trying to go to one website and you suddenly end up on a completely different website.
Oh, yeah. That's happened to me before.
That's a red flag. And then also, you know, like new toolbars or extensions that just magically appear in your browser.
All right, like out of nowhere.
Yeah, or changes to your homepage or your search engine that you didn't make.
Right.
And if you notice your data usage like suddenly spiking for no reason, that could also be a sign of adware.
So basically any like weird or unexpected changes in my computer's behavior.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay, so that's good to know.
So what do you think so far?
It's a little unsettling.
Yeah.
To think that like even when I'm trying to be careful online, there's still these like hidden forces at play trying to like exploit my every click.
It's true. And the thing is, the sheer volume of adware detections, especially in recent years, tells us this problem isn't going away anytime soon.
So this isn't just like a passing fad, like adware is here to stay.
It seems that way, and that's why it's so important to understand it, you know?
Yeah.
Remember we talked about the different types of adware? Well, the landscape is constantly evolving, you know?
Oh, wow.
More sophisticated versions are popping up all the time.
So it's like this never-ending game of cat and mouse.
It's exactly between the adware creators and the security experts trying to stop them.
Right, and we're stuck in the middle.
We are, and that's why being informed and proactive is so crucial.
Okay.
You can't just sit back and hope for the best. You know, you have to be aware of the risks and take those preventive measures that we talked about.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
So for our listeners who might be feeling a little overwhelmed by all this information, what's the one thing that you would say they should focus on?
I would say remember that even small steps can make a big difference.
Okay.
Updating your software, being mindful of your downloads, using a good antivirus program, those things can significantly reduce your risk.
Great advice. It's all about building good digital habits.
Exactly. And if you do find yourself facing an adware issue, don't panic. There are solutions available, whether it's using an antivirus program, manually uninstalling suspicious software, or seeking help from online resources.
So to wrap things up, let's leave our listeners with one final thought to ponder as they navigate the digital world.
Here's something to consider. In this age of increasing data collection and targeted advertising, how can we strike a balance between convenience and privacy?
That's a great point to end on. Definitely food for thought. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of adware. I'm Michael Reynolds.
And I'm Laura Wilson.
And this has been the AnzenGuard podcast. Be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the ever-evolving world of cybersecurity. And don't forget to like, comment, and share this episode with your friends. Let's spread the knowledge and help everyone stay safe online.
And you know, like sometimes you'll get these like weird pop-ups that try to get you to download something.
Oh, yeah.
Like a Flash player update or something.
Right.
Yeah, those are often just disguised adware.
Oh, so it's like a trick?
Yeah, they try to trick you into thinking you need to update something.
To get you to install it.
Exactly.
So that's something to watch out for.
Definitely. So, okay, let's talk about prevention.
Okay, yeah. How do we avoid this stuff in the first place?
You know, the first and most important thing is to keep your software updated.
Oh, yeah, like those updates that I always ignore.
Yeah, those are actually really important.
Okay.
Because they often contain security patches that plug up those vulnerabilities that adware tries to exploit.
So it's like reinforcing your digital walls.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then be really careful about where you download software from.
Okay.
You know, those like shady websites or those offers that seem too good to be true.
Right.
Yeah, those are often breeding grounds for adware.
Like a digital flea market.
Yeah, exactly. Stick to official app stores and reputable sources.
Makes sense.
And then this one is not the most fun, but read those terms and conditions.
Ugh, nobody reads those.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, but they're important because
Okay.
they often contain details about like data collection and ad serving practices.
So like hidden clauses that allow them to put adware on your computer.
Yeah, sometimes so. Always look for opt-out options if they're available.
Okay, so knowledge is power.
Exactly.
Even when it comes to terms and conditions.
Even then. And last but not least, consider using reputable antivirus software. It's like having a digital bodyguard who's constantly scanning your downloads, blocking malicious websites, and helping to keep adware at bay.
Sounds like a good investment.
It is. So what do we do if we already have adware, though?
Right, like the damage is already done.
Well, don't worry. There's still hope.
Okay, good.
A lot of antivirus programs have built-in tools specifically for removing adware.
Okay.
So that's a good place to start.
So it's like a deep clean for your computer.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're comfortable doing a little bit of tech DIY, you can often manually uninstall suspicious apps or programs.
Okay.
Just look for anything that you don't recognize or that you don't remember installing.
Makes sense.
And don't forget to check your browser extensions.
Oh, right.
Those are a common hiding place for adware.
So like go through and delete anything that looks suspicious.
Exactly.
Okay, what if I've done all that and I'm still having problems?
Well, you can always reset your browser settings.
Oh, right.
That can sometimes help because adware can change your homepage, your search engine, all sorts of things.
Right.
So resetting it back to the defaults can often fix the problem.
Okay. So it's like starting fresh.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
if you've tried all of that and you're still having issues, there are specialized adware removal tools available online.
Okay.
Just be sure to choose a reputable source.
Right. Don't want to download more adware.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like going to a trusted mechanic
Yeah,
instead of trying to fix your car yourself when you don't know what you're doing.
exactly.
Sometimes it's better to leave it to the professionals.
Definitely. So what are your takeaways from all this?
Well, I've definitely learned that adware is more than just a minor annoyance. It's a complex issue that can affect our privacy, our security, and even our wallets.
It is. But the good news is that by understanding how it works, we can protect ourselves.
Right. Knowledge is power.
Exactly. So let's recap the key takeaways for our listeners.
Yeah, let's do that.
So first, Adware is software designed to display ads, and often without your knowledge or consent.
Right.
And it's sneaky. It can piggyback on other downloads or exploit weaknesses in your browser.
Okay.
Second, Adware, it often operates in this legal gray area. It's not always breaking the law, but it's definitely pushing the boundaries.
Right, pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, and third, Adware, it's all about the money.
Uh-huh.
Clicks equal cash, and your browsing data, it's valuable.
Cool.
And Adware can create security risks.
Right.
It can open doors for other malware, weaken your device's defenses, and leave you vulnerable to attack.
So it's not just about the ads then. It's about the bigger picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
And finally, prevention is key. Keep your software updated, be cautious about what you download, and use reputable antivirus software.
Okay, great advice.
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone who might be feeling a little overwhelmed by all this information, what's the one thing you'd say they should focus on?
Just remember that even small steps can make a big difference. Updating your software, being mindful of your downloads, and using a good antivirus program,
Okay.
those simple actions can significantly reduce your risk.
Great advice. It's all about building good digital habits. really.
Absolutely. And if you do find yourself facing an adware issue, don't panic. There are solutions available.
Okay.
Whether it's using an antivirus program, manually uninstalling suspicious software, or seeking help from online resources, we've got your back.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into adware, let's leave our listeners with a final thought. Something to chew on as they continue their online adventures.
Here's something to consider. In this age of relentless data collection and targeted advertising, how do we strike a balance between convenience and privacy? It's a question we all need to grapple with.
That's a great point to end on. Definitely food for thought for our listeners. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of adware. I'm Michael Reynolds.
And I'm Laura Wilson.
And this has been the AnzenGuard podcast.
Yeah.
Be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the fascinating world of cybersecurity. And don't forget to comment, and share this episode with your friends. Let's spread the knowledge and help everyone stay safe online.